What up, chat? What up, AXP? How you doing, brother? Chat, I'm in a small long on ES at the moment. Kind of just looking to see if we can test last week's highs, which is right around 630s. It was right off the hold of the open, the stronger 5-minute close. I took the entry. This is just on an eval, just because I'm 800 away from passing it. If it hits that, I pass it. What up, Raph, Steve, Bugs, Eldred, T-Bot, AXP, TCM, Toasted. What up, Andrew? Most Fab, Daniel. Added back the other 25. AXP, I was wondering if you added on that dip. I saw the huge dip this morning. I was like, I wonder. What up, Cole? What up, BL? Your P&L fucking dude. That had to hurt watching. It was 30. Yeah, I know. All the way down there. Chat, I'm doing great. How you guys doing? We're watching Traded by TV, but had to come support my day one. Appreciate you, SO. I was short at that spike, slid me 11 points over my stop. T-Bot, what spike are you referring to? Yeah, Chad, late last night, obviously there's not a lot of people in here, but I'm going to go over it real quick. Late last night, I ended up taking an RTY trade. It was a trade where I just entered, closed the charts, and went to bed. That is quite literally what I did. I entered it. I don't remember exactly where, to be honest. Somewhere in the low 80s, like 81, 82s, somewhere around there. And I was targeting, I believe, 89s with like a 3-point stop. And it stopped me overnight. So I lost 300 on that, on the account. And then this morning, we sniped the YM during Jake's stream. I saw the relative strength. I was holding up decently well. The other indices were obviously pushing a little bit, and if this got any buying momentum, it was gonna rip. I took that, front ran last month's highs, and then that was like $1,700. So $300 loss on one trade, 17 on the next. So overall, pretty solid day. That version was nasty today. It was. We have the exact same trade going. Hell yeah. I just want to see us get up around last week's highs. Just get up there, test it, because we're so close to it. I would anticipate us to at least test that and then see what we want to do. At that point, if that hits, I would likely just rotate accounts and then look for a continuation type trade. But this is all I'm looking for out of this trade. Is just right there and then call it. And then let me make sure I have an OCO set. So 612 and then 2875. All right, that's set. Now I don't care about it. The divergence has been crazy lately. I mean, the semiconductors got absolutely steamrolled throughout the day. I saw that, what was it? AMD was down like 6 or 7%. MU was down over 10. Ended up pulling back a little bit to close the day, which is good. We'll see if the indices can continue. For me, I'm more so just looking at the broader structure here. If we can, I mean, we really need to maintain above like basically 620s with that spike. If we start pulling back, this could fade the move back into like 95s. In that case, that would end up flipping the thesis overall short, primarily because of the NQ. Out the gate, I lean more so longs. Yes, so far we have failed. I'm not too worried about that. Just looking at the overall structure, we're consolidating near the highs just below last week's highs, which is why I'm in this little stab here. But I'm just trying to see if I can pass this eval on this trade. Accounts have to be blown without a step. Wait, what? Bro, this pumping up is crazy. Oh, AXP. I guarantee you people are nuking their accounts. Is your barber hyped today or what? Toasted. I didn't DM him yet, but I guarantee it. We mainly, unless he has some random stock question, we mainly just talk when I get my hair cut. I guarantee he's a little hyped. But to be fair, he's been in PayPal for so long. He has watched it hit, where was it, like 70s, and then fade all the way back down to 40s. So I'll see how well he's doing in it. I don't remember what his average is. But he should be, you know, at least soften blow a little bit if he's down. What up, PT? How you doing? PayPal, yeah, PayPal ripped. I nuked like 3 accounts, although I can't afford TS anymore. Cole, if you can't afford them, why you nuking them, brother? Yes, size down. What's ATS? Wait, ASTS? AST Space Mobile. I don't even know what this is. Yeah, they got nuked a little bit. Evening, Ant. How you doing, brother? Yeah, XP, the daily range is absolutely disgusting here. Because you can have, even right now, I think this is a solid setup. It could easily fade and we push right back into this range. I love this daily close. Yes, we are at a decent resistance, but we've been consolidating under it for a little bit, which is why I want to see that break higher. If this pulls back, to me, it's mainly just because of NQ's weakness. But if we can break, I'd be looking towards new highs. Why do I have that marked as yesterday's high? Hang on. There we go. But I would just love to see us back up around like 650s. I think there's a lot of potential for it, but there's also a lot of potential for fuckery, obviously, because that's been what's going on lately. I mean, I know a lot of people came into the day wanting pretty aggressive longs, and the market just pulled back. I'm just addicted to trading. Cole, trade one account at a time and trade micros. You've seen me trade fundeds and evals risking 200 bucks at times. So I didn't do like a deep dive on charts. I've been waiting for a few more people to get in. I showed the 2 trades. Well, technically 1 trade I took because the other one I forget the exact entry and exit. BL, I saw that. Apex, because of the alpha thing, is running $50 accounts. And that's the end of day drawdown, no activation fees. I bought some, I'm gonna risk them. I'm probably gonna buy some, to be honest. I might give Apex another try. I mean, for the price of 2 accounts at other firms, you can get 5 accounts. So might as well try a couple. And why, is that the intraday? Or is that the end of day? Either way, I'm gonna try them. It's only intraday, but in that case, I'll likely be more so on the hit and run kind of aspect with them, because that changes how I trade those accounts drastically. EOD or 79. I mean, 79 is still cheap. Steve, there's a chance of it, right? But what I would kind of want, if we're going to see a bigger flush, give me a big like spike up to 650s that just slams back down one day. At that point, I'd be more interested. Can we still reject this broader daily resistance? Yeah, 100% we can. Which is why I'm just kind of targeting up in there on this little trade. But I would, if we're going to pull back, I would rather a big spike higher that fails. If we just pull back here, we're likely just going to sit within this range longer, and I really don't want that. Weekly does make sense if it wants to just sit around here for the next 2 days. It truly does. In that case, it would look really good for longs. But there's nothing wrong with us trying to break it today or this week. I think NQ needs to open over 30,000 if it's going to continue. Probably. Let's look. Honestly, yeah. I mean, it needs over that like 30,100 essentially. If it can get over that 30,050 to 30,100 level, then NQ's clear skies. You have so much room, even to like 600s on NQ. But right now, we are hard stuck between that area and 29.4s. If we get out of that, though, market has a good potential to start ripping towards all-time highs. But during New York needs to open there. I mean, I think we should see a slight continuation, at least during the early session. We'll see what Asia does. Hopefully we don't get too volatile, but we get more of a trend. Yeah, Steve, I'm stuck in 650s. I mean, if we break 650s, it's ES is over. It's ripping. But overall thesis on the higher time frames, now that we have some more people in here, this isn't a bearish chart to me on the daily. Yes, we are in an aggressive ass range that has sucked to trade lately. Truly has sucked to trade at times. I've been very hit and run. Like I showed the YM trade from today. I was in this trade for quite literally, I don't know if this is the exact, I think this is the exact entry area. Yeah, it is. I was in this trade for less than 4 minutes. It filled me out there, and then I didn't open a single trade the rest of the day. That was my entire trade during the New York session. Took that and then didn't even look at charts, other than an options trade, but that's it. But I was done with futures. ES to me, this is more of a bullish chart. We're just sitting underneath a big resistance. It would be more bearish if we got that aggressive spike that I talked about, even up to like 650s and then slam back down. That big upper topping tail would tell me, all right, buyers are not defending this whatsoever on this breakout. Now I would start to lean more bearish. So for now, I'm willing to take longs and take hits on the way if they pull back. But I'm in the emphasis of willing to buy dips at the moment. With the aspect, you still have to remember we are in a daily range. But the 4 hours consolidating here, I liked when we broke above, retested the open. That's when I got in this trade personally. So I would like us to continue over that 4 hour high, which is right around basically 620s. If we can get a break over that into the hourly close, it looks fairly decent, even though this has a little bit of an upper wick. We're just consolidating. And at that point, I'd be looking for like 630s. See how we react to 630s, look for a trade off of that. That's why I'm looking to get out before 630s and then just be done with this trade as a whole. And then NQ is a completely different scenario here. NQ is still a weekly inside bar. The daily is in a much more aggressive range, right? It's currently 700 points, and we keep opening right in the middle, right? We hold the lows, rip up to the highs, fail off the highs, and now we're sitting right in the middle on a pretty ugly neutral daily candle. The end of day rally helps a little bit with this big lower tail. It gives me a little bit of conviction, but I would really need to see us at least over 750s. If we get over 750s, I'd be looking for that slower grind potentially back up to like 3,000 or 30,000s. That's my whole thesis on the NQ. I don't love this chart a lot. Do I think there's potential? Yeah, but there's also potential for downside on this exponentially because this hourly is currently trying to set more of a downtrend, right? The 4 hours trying to see if it's going to hold a higher low or set a lower high. So I don't have a lot of conviction there personally. Which, I mean, that definitely lowers conviction a little bit on ES, which is why this is just a stab I'm willing to take. And it's also why I'm on an eval right now. Even though I do really like this trade, and I just want to pass this eval. What up, Dougie? Yeah, XP, I think if we get a gap up overnight, we would see a decent continuation, at least during the morning session tomorrow. Especially because we don't have data. You're short gold? Below the open, fair. 4 hours still in more so a lower high type area. Daily's an inside bar. That's the only thing that kind of deters me from it is that daily inside bar. Yeah, as long as we hold below the open, this chart's a little bit weaker than stronger. But if it does get back above the open, I'd be more interested in gold longs than shorts. Oil, I'm interested in seeing what it does out of this. Right? We have this little consolidation here on oil. Either way, a break out of this can lead to a really nice trend. Right now, it does look like it wants more so to the upside. We'll see. It's gotten a day of consolidation, technically like a day and a half-ish. And now it's just our bull is going to be able to take out that 81 level. If they take out 81, hold on, because oil can potentially fucking rip to like 84s, 83.7s, 84s. I think today's similar to yesterday, where it's just a lot of weight, unless you're in a trade. I think there's going to be a lot of good, like, shorter term trading opportunities, but we'll see on a broader scale of continuation. Yeah, gold for me, 450s. If we hold 450s, we likely go back to 4,100. Anything over 4,100, I'm overly bullish on gold for the short term. What up, Bugs? We got Trump Twitter fingers. Well, that and the fact that he's continuously just bombing the hell out of Iran every single night doesn't help the factor. But what are you guys watching right now? Long, shorts, what names? I mean, I could, even if someone said they're shorting like ES, I'd be like, I see it. NKD is chilling so far. Dollar closed weak, which had me more so interested in broader swings. Because the dollar can still head down to like 100.2s, which is obviously a massive support area. If we break 100.2s on the dollar, now mind you, if we break 100.2 on the dollar and start to break out on ES, I want nothing to do with shorts at all. Got some PLTR calls. Wait, that's PayPal. Where's PLTR? Going off the daily 3-bar play. Weekly looks fire. If it holds into Friday, weekly looks really good. Hourly, nice consolidation as well. I see the potential for sure. I'm not trading right now, brother, so I'm mentally exhausted. Busy day at work. Just here for the vibes. Appreciate you, NQ. I mean, that's the thing, too. If y'all don't love the market, don't trade. There's absolutely no reason to. It's like during New York, when I took that trade, didn't like the market after that, I called it. I was done. Waiting for 8 p.m. before anything. Probably smart, Toasted. Probably smart. If I take the loss on this count, I have other accounts. I'm going to immediately rotate over. It'll be done for at least this session. It won't be like max loss for me, but it'll be done for the session. I'm smoking, watching you trade. Caught a banger New York today. Halfway done with TPT. Then gonna start the other one. Hell yeah, Bugs. What'd you catch today on it? A little short, or did you catch the lows? Toasted. I mean, that's the thing. Days like yesterday when I don't trade, I'm living vicariously through you guys. When you guys don't trade, you can live vicariously through me or each other. That's the greatest thing about it. I mean, the way we're still holding this like 618s, I love this setup a lot. But if we do go retest the open, which is why I have my stop like at the lows, because if we retest the open and hold, I'm like, all right, maybe it supports. But if we do something like this, or let's say we retest the open, hold, get back up here, then start to push back lower, I would probably start moving my stop. Because at that point, I don't need as wide of a stop because I have a defined support right there. Even right here, I should have a pretty defined support at the open. But because low a day slightly below that, I have my stop a little below that. This is a drastically wider stop than I could have. In theory, that makes a lot of sense for me. Right around like that, just under 4 points. But I'm giving it room to breathe. Just because of how Asia's session's been lately with the volatility. What up, Rev? Traded ES, MES, caught the shorts. Hell yeah, Bugs. Chat, do you guys see the new alpha news? YES over NQ. Hill, I've been trading ES primarily for like 4 years. So if there's any type of setup, I'm going to take ES. Unless I'm just overly in love with an NQ chart. It always leans towards ES, so that's my favorite. Also, if you look at the 4-hour charts right here, look at the overall structure. Does NQ have more room to go? Yes. But it's safe to say ES is drastically stronger than NQ right now. So that's why I'm willing to trade ES for sure at this moment on this trade. If it was the other way around, I might be more interested in NQ. NQ's maybe want to throw up lately. Switch to ES for a little bit, brother. You were at the dentist, that's why you're late today? Rav, unacceptable. Unacceptable to put your hygiene before showing up exactly when stream starts. Yeah, Hill, I always prefer ES. ES moves a lot smoother. At least just from my experience, plus it's more liquid in general. I don't love the overall volatility on the lower time frames of NQ because of how wicky it can get. Plus, the main factor for me that steers me towards ES is the divergence between NQ and MNQ. You can see like sometimes 10 to 20 point differences on how NQ versus MNQ trade. And I don't want that between the micros and the minis. Where MES and ES maybe a tick or two sometimes at most. What up, Ms. K? Jeremy, is what the Newswick? Where I'm targeting? No, it's above that. Sorry I'm late too, boss. Unacceptable, chat. Oh, wait. Let me check something real quick. All right. Alpha News is sus. I mean, yeah, but at least they're trying to fulfill their payouts. It would likely happen is they realized they would just take a massive hit in general to their overall, like everyone supporting them and their credibility if they just canceled all the payouts. But at least they're trying to fulfill those now. Like I said, it's probably going to take time. I think they did 10% already. But over time, they're going to do all those payouts. Fast Track did the same thing, then faded. Yeah, T-Bot, we'll see. They're probably just trying to, clean up the mess a little bit. I'm not out here supporting them or buying accounts by any means. But I'm glad to see people are getting their payouts, or at least attempting to get them. Agreed, T-Bot. I mean, Fast Track was decently established. Never a name I used. But that was also different. That wasn't because the company was just underwater. That was because the CEO was just buying like 10 Ferraris for fun and just dumping company money. That was a little bit of a difference. What up, Elevated? I love ES. I just don't love what NQ's doing here. RTY and YM are holding structure well, which I like. So maybe we just have NQ be slightly weaker on the session and get a slow trend from the rest. NQ just has me questioning overall direction because obviously the divergence. Yeah, T-Bot, it doesn't help they built a plan that made them, that they were drastically losing probably millions to tens of millions of dollars on. That's probably going to push any company to where they are right now. And it's just a mistake. But I don't have a whole lot to say about it. Chat, since we did our no giveaway yesterday, we are back. We are back. So if y'all like the stream, if we can get, honestly, y'all know I give it away anyway at the end. But the quicker we get to 150, the quicker I'll give it away. And I know there's like 20 to 25 people that'll like it when I do the giveaway for some reason. So if we get super close, I might just run it, depending on time. The chat lose World Cup bet today. I think they beat England, right? Chat did not lose the... Wait. Didn't chat take England? I'm pretty sure Jake wanted England, and I'm like 85% sure. I'm still gonna run the giveaway because fuck it. I'm like 85% sure chat voted England. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that poll picked England. I don't know if that was an actual bet for giveaways. I didn't hear that word or that language or lingo. So I'm running a giveaway. That man turned 1 into 5K fanning us. Don't ask us anything. So that's the crazy part is Jake funded the giveaways. Like the giveaways you guys lost. You guys funded them by Jake tailing going the opposite of your bets. Chat and Jake chose the same team. Okay, so it's more of a neutral day. Everybody lost. Got it. In other words, though, you guys still suck at sports betting, is what I'm hearing. Now you just drug Jake down with you this time. And knowing it's England, he probably bet money on it. Yeah, T-Bot, I don't think today was for giveaways because I didn't hear him talk about that at all. I liked Argentina. Hell yeah, Ron. I voted Argentina on the poll. I know nothing about soccer, but I just voted it because Jake said pick Argentina so that way chat gets them. The Drake curse is now the chat curse. It's been the chat curse. I know, Miguel. I know. Jake has been fully fading you guys and making a decent amount of money off of it. Now, mind you, it depends on how much you bet today. But, I mean, here, we'll see this too. Chat, please don't jinx my trade. I'm going to ask you the normal poll that I ask that I don't think I've done too much lately. Please don't ruin this for me. Please pick the right one so it goes the right way. We bounce back about a month of giveaways. Argentina wins. Wins the whole thing, guy up? Wait, AXP, who's a clown? Does this count as hedging? I mean, possibly. Wait, Drake bet on England too? Yeah, you guys would have been smoked if Jake actually faded. That's just the double whammy right there. Chat and Drake betting on him. Gael, I don't think I've ever seen more accusations of saying something's rigged than I have with the World Cup this year. And that's impressive because I mainly watch the NFL. And that's all people talk about. ES is continuing to push. So is YM. Wait, what's YM look like right now? Because that looks like a decent consolidation. Chat, hear me out. Probably not tonight. But if we get YM back over like 53,100, I think that's a straight yeet. Wholeheartedly. Because you likely see this break and then you watch it rip straight to there. Daily's in a decent consolidation. Yes. Is today technically a fail to go higher? Of course. But remember, when we're in ranges, what matters more is the overall structure. I think if YM breaks 53,100, I'm going to be stalking longs heavily whenever that happens. I mean, who knows? Maybe this trade works, and then later on the YM sets up and we look to take that, or take it late night, something like that, or tomorrow morning. But if that chart sets up, I am longing that without any hesitation. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, there's not a lot of votes in the poll right now, but I'm shocked it's almost 50-50. I had a tough day in the New York session, came in profit, then kept trying to catch bottom like a dumbass. Gael, I actually saw a few people do that today. So you're not alone. And I know one of them usually is in the chat. I don't know if he's here today or not. But I've seen a few people doing that. Today's one of those days where it's very easy. Because a lot of people were overly bullish. I mean, I was bullish this morning. But I took my hit and then got away from the charts. We had really nice price action, really nice daily setup, and then we just ended up failing. But at the same time, chat, it's crazy to me how well those little 15-minute pivots that we mark out on stream hold up. Like even today during New York. Now, mind you, these pivots are from back in July 10th, so 5 days ago. The lower ones are obviously farther back, but July 10th and then yesterday. And we came down today, tested this one perfectly. Obviously pulled back a little bit higher towards the pre-market highs, rejected, and then slammed all the way down and held that 70 to 75 area that we were watching last night. So, I mean, for how little effort it feels like to put in to mark those, they work fucking well. Because they take it to 30,000 overnight. So you want to retest that high or you want to short 30,000. They don't give you the short, so you buy the knife. Yeah, XP. I mean, that's the problem too with the daily aspect we've been in. With these sharper rejections, people are they're getting into the sense of just buying supports and shorting resistances, and it's working well. But then when you get broader trends like we kind of did today, especially on NQ, a lot of people are trying to dip by this consolidation right here. They're trying to dip by this candle because they want to catch that bottom. They want to catch that big reversal. And that's just when a lot of people end up getting smoked. Yeah, Gael, that's possible. And there are days that'll happen, right? Where the NQ holds because of how strong ES is. The problem is, if you look at the leading drivers at the moment of the NASDAQ, you had AMD looking like this in the morning, right? You had MU looking like this in the morning, and they were just getting obliterated. The second those finally found support, we saw decent buying pressure because a lot of other names were strong, right? Google never pulled back. Google ripped the entire morning while the market was going lower. I believe Meta did something similar. Yeah. So a lot of bigger tech names were ripping in the morning, but because of those larger leaders, those were just smoking the market, which led to that broader pullback. And I don't blame people for trying to buy the dip today. What up, Logan? I saw that NVIDIA didn't get hit much. NVIDIA is in a really tight daily range. I have 3 minis long on NQ on 100K. BL, 2 questions. What's your drawdown and what's your entry? Gael, I wish they never added SpaceX. At least this early. I get it because of the market cap. But this name is just going to continue to get obliterated, right? I want to see this down to 100. Can it pull back and retest 150s? Yeah. But I'm not even going to be looking at this chart till it gets down towards 100. And at that point, I kind of still want it lower. And I could be horribly wrong. I know next to nothing about the financials about that, other than that they're like 10% of Amazon. Three entries on 100K with no drawdown, bro. As soon as Asia opens, you are liquidated. Oh, yeah. No, agreed, XP. I was reading that like it was him saying it. Entry was 710. Okay, so you got in around the open at least. You just can't even... you can't even fathom a pullback to it. I mean, depending on how low the drawdown is, and I'm not going to tell you how to trade. You just caught 20 points to the upside. Now, I'm not a scalper by any means. But 3 minis on 20 points will build you a decent buffer for a trade. Wholeheartedly. What up, Bass? How you doing? You had 200 in drawdown. It's crazy. AXP is giving advice on how to trade prop firms. He's never traded one. But his advice isn't bad. Now, when that happens, I either go for like a decent sized trade, but I don't size aggressively, like a decent risk to reward, or I'll size aggressively and I'll get out quick. Like if I had $200 in drawdown and I made, let's say, $500, I would exit because that gives me 2 full size trades at that point. No, Bass, I didn't catch any shorts. I caught the long on the YM in the morning. So I did well, but I longed early morning, and then I just didn't trade the entirety of the day. I had no interest once I saw it's just straight flushing. Feeling spicy? Yeah. I mean, you're probably at the point I'd be willing to bet that you already came to sense that the account's gone. Well, now it might be. Now that might have done it. If not, you're tickling it. But that one might have hurt a little bit. But I feel like you probably already came to sense like, all right, this either works or the account's gone and I'll just start a new one. I bought the dip and the dip kept dipping. Yeah. It'd be like that. I mean, it looked good for a minute. See how this 15 closes. So I don't love the rejection. Obviously, the 30 still has time. 15, eh. We're just back at the 5-minute low, testing it. So we'll see. No matter what would 15 be on a stop? I'm going to see how this 5-minute reacts, and then I'll see if I want to move stop or not. When it comes to the flex accounts, and you have your 5 days of 150 to pass, how do you do it? 1-to-1 risk or use a mini to scalp? Hill, I don't use minis to scalp because the risk on that for me is way too much. especially because a lot of people are trading NQ. If you're trying to scalp $150 with a mini, if you get one little candle like what just happened, you're cooked multiple $100. What I do in that case is I trade smaller size. I'll risk typically like 100 to 150 bucks, targeting around 200-ish, maybe 250 if I'm risking 150. And then I will set my daily lockout on the account profit-wise at like 165 to 170. Just so that way, as the trade's working, it'll just flatten me in the position. And then I don't look at the DOM, so I don't know like exactly when it flattens me. But I take a higher conviction trade with lower size that has room to go farther than where I need it to, if that makes sense. Yeah, XP, I'm just not loving the rejection on NQ thus far. Dollar opened, didn't do much yet. Oil's holding a little bit. Gold's still weak, so whoever's shorting gold, I think that was most fab. Nice work. If this is going to hold how I want it to, it should not get back towards the open. So I'm going to squeeze that to 14. It's not going to do much, but it'll lower the risk. About 150 bucks. And I'm also willing to flatten if it just starts pushing back lower. I'm not married to this trade. Short an MES. I like the failure if you're looking to short. I do. It's just going to be, how does this 15 and 5 close? If this 15 closes like this, yeah, I could easily see it starting to push lower. And at that point, I'll watch how we react to this 15-minute low. If we end up continuing to push, I'll likely just flatten. I don't love NQ structure. On the 15-minute NQ, it had a huge wick. When I was in a trade, it was like, surely it's just a large pullback. And then we go to the upside. Well, it didn't. Wait, on the 15-minute, a huge wick. Oh, it just kept going lower. Yep, market will do that, especially during New York. NQ really struggling at the level. I have one at 725. Yeah, she's fighting. I mean, that's just basically just 25 to like 40. NQ needs to get over that or it will not see upside. If it gets over that, it has a lot of room. I'd be looking towards like 870s at that point, but it desperately needs above there. Anything below is weaker for sure. Especially if YM gets below the open, then ES goes to test the open. ES is still holding relative strength across all 4 indices. So I'm okay holding this for now, but I really need to see buying pressure kick in. Gold's trying to hold this structure at the moment. We'll see if it continues. F the market, why is it not moving? Most fab. The market rarely ever moves right now. You know that, brother. You know that like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is slow time 90% of the days. Need Uncle Sam to pump it? I mean, if we can, all we need right now is just be like, hey, ceasefire talks are back on. Straight's coming open. And then we just skyrocket. And I'm happy. Now, mind you, I'll be pissed I'm not enough funded. But we'll see. Logan, I lean that way for sure. I wouldn't still be in this. It all depends on NQ for me. I do both, Moise. When I'm close to passing an eval, I trade the eval. But every other day, unless I say I'm trading an eval, then I'm trading a funded. To me, I just want to pass this account, so I'm willing to take this trade on that account. There's also going to be times where I'll trade an eval and then I'll trade a funded on the side with it. I'm not doing that right now. I'd be transparent about it. You think we get a COVID-style crash next month? AXP, there's probably a few big factors that can do that. I mean, the main one for me would be anything boots on the ground. Would likely send the market straight to the gulag. Because then we're in a full-fledged war, and that's not great. What up, Dev? And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying if that ever does, it'll likely lead to a larger pullback. How you doing, Steven? I'm doing great, user. How you doing? But HP, why do you think we see a COVID-style crash? Because that's a big ask. I want to start this whole thing with let's go Argentina. With that said, how's it going? Good, Diego. It's going great, brother. I'm going to eat a sock if we don't hit TP. Deal. Since I don't have to do anything with the other half of that deal. Because the swings we've had are 5% a day. It's pricing in a huge dump. Boys, we'll see. I mean, I've accepted this stop. Like I've said before multiple times, and you might not have been here or heard it. If we get into Asia, like let's say we get to 55, like 755, and we're still chilling up here in this area, I have no reason to close, even if there's a little bit of volatility. For me, if we end up getting a weaker overall push, like let's say this 15's down below here, then maybe. It all depends on structure for me. But at the moment, NQ is still just being a dick and not getting it. Dollar's pushing lower. Thus far, at least. What is NKD doing? Pulling back a little bit. We'll see if we can hold this low again. If not, we'll likely revisit the open. Master Zach took 42 bands. Are you talking about Zach Austin? Because I know he got into NDX, and that's impressive in itself to do that with NDX. I know it's possible because of how volatile it is, but even scalping NDX is fucking insane because there's not much volume on those contracts. Yeah, Guile, you got your stop where I had mine right around 12. I mean, I would fully take this trade no matter what again. I think right now NQ is just more so struggling. Yeah, no, Zach's been doing insane this year. I love seeing it because I've known him. Most people don't know. I met Zach in the first year of my trading in the Simba Stocks Discord. So I've known him since I started. I don't love the little bit of a pullback we're getting, but we're still range bound. The only thing is that hourly sets up for a spike lower if we keep pushing. Oh, well. Hourly closing bearish, a little bit. Still an inside bar though, so not overly bearish. NQ, if it breaks the last hourly low, it'll definitely be more bearish for sure. NQ is just dragging the market down at the moment. NVIDIA is leading the downside today. Oh no, MU is still down 1%. MU and NVIDIA today instead of MU and AMD. Is SpaceX still dumping, dude? No, it's up a little bit. Shockingly. Spain or Argentina? That's a chat question, my guy. I don't know enough about it to really give an opinion. I mean, my gut with how people were saying Argentina's played terrible the whole tournament, I would say Spain. Oh, NQ hasn't moved the same since that day. I mean, NQ's just been like a little piece of shit lately. But yeah, I mean, it's hard when you add a multi-trillion-dollar company to the market that isn't actually priced fundamentally around that level. Yang, where'd you get in at? You got in, didn't you get in around this area? Around like 18s? Somewhere around there? It was either here or up here. I don't remember exactly where. Someone said something about gold. Most Fab, you still just watching for that rejection? Biggest thing here on gold is this hourly close, for sure. I mean, it's not going to matter as much if like the 5 and 15 still remain weaker. But you'd want that to close as low as possible, obviously. Especially below the prior hourly low. Oil stagnant, so nothing's really moving a whole lot. YM fighting the open, RTY just below the open, and Q broke below the open, and then ES is still above. So we still have our relative strength for now. Getting tired of hearing people. Ignore the first comment. Well, you made the comment. 76.21. Yeah, you got a nice little short area. So you shorted basically this little high resistance here. Probably a stop just over the tops. Where are you targeting? Do you guys recommend a prop firm that is beginner? No, you've never traded with a prop firm? For me, it's always Lucid or Tradeify. Those are the two that I use. Those are the two I talk about all the time. And those are the only two I really talk about. Other than like the Apex sale that's happening right now, I have no problem talking about that because it's cheap. It is the intraday account, so that's the negative with it. But yeah, Lucid or Tradeify. The Lucid Flex is a great account. The Tradeify Select is a great account as well. Where it dumps 150 points and reverses. AXP, that would not shock me. Because I'm pretty sure my only losses this week on Asia were the right thesis, but it ended up making an aggressive move and then pivoting back higher for like 2 or 3 times that move. Which I know is something that could easily happen right now because I'm in before Asia. How do you do with intraday trailing? AJ, for me, I don't try to let runner. I don't go for big trades. I trade more so like a mid version of Allen where I'm looking for 1.5 to 2R. And that's that. I either do that or sometimes I'll go aggressive size similar to Jake and just try to pass it on a trade. And that account's either passed or gone. I used to do that with the 90% off sales, but that was worth it because they were $15 accounts. Well, Diego, he said first time with prop. I don't know if it's first time trading, but it could be. So you could be right. Allen is a wild man. Allen's a legend. Nah, I love Allen. He does really well with those little rejection scalps. And also continuation. Apex is always 90% off, so there's nothing special. Yep. If Apex doesn't have a 90% off deal, they have an 80% off deal. It's one or the other. It's looking like so far we're getting more of a bigger rejection here. Obviously, I was in this before stream started, so I doubt a lot of people are in it. But I know some were also in it before stream as well. Gotta see how this 5-minute reacts. Because if it gets bought back up, we're chilling. Oil sideways, gold sideways. Dollar not moving. NKD, big little flush there. I'm going to leave my stop where it is because this is the eval. If it stops me, like I said, I'm just going to flip to the other account. Wait, what, Andrew? Tried Apex a few times. Still, I got hit with 5 subscription fees. Shake my head. They wouldn't refund it because I wasn't a loyal customer. AJ, did they actually say they wouldn't refund it because of that? Because if so, that is insane. No sucks. Andrew, I mean, if it hits. Giveaway time. Gotta like the stream, AXP. Gotta like the stream. That's crazy. But, I mean, knowing Apex support, that's not as crazy as most people would think. Because sometimes their support stays wild in a little bit. But when they charged you subscription fees, that had to be in the past, though, because I don't think they have subscription fees anymore. I think they just have one-time fees. What up, Finch? I don't love these closes. I would need the 15 to likely get back above like 19s, which was the bigger area I wanted to see as above. I just don't like YM, RTY, and NQ that much. Yeah, I agree, Low Melty. Today's session is boring. I took this when we got the higher low and it looked phenomenal. We got a little bit of continuation, right? Like if you were taking like 1R type things, it'd be around there. But I'm just looking to get up towards here. And right now, it doesn't look like it's going to do that. So we'll see what the market does after Asia Open if this little stop gets hit. Which the reason I don't like this 15 is if Asia opens, it's likely going to open with volatility. If it opens with volatility, I am 3 points away from stopped. So that volatility will likely hit it. Unless we get like a minute of buying pressure. Jeremy, you talking about just the overall range? Because if so, yeah, right? We have 15-minute lows right here. We have 15-minute highs up here. That's the range we're in on NQ until we break it. Either direction, too. But right now, the hourly is closing decently weaker on NQ, which I don't love. ES is still an inside bar, but I don't like how far it's trended down. And then, let's see what YM and RTY. YM, I think, might have spiked higher, but primarily an inside bar. Double top. And then RTY did spike higher. But my main thing is we'll likely just get the Asia volatility at the open, which will take out that stop. And if so, then I just got to look for a trade on it. New York, if I want to trade it. Or like London session. This shit is so slow. I get suckered into trading when I see the notification. Yang, you got to fight it. This session will build patience. This is the greatest session to learn patience in and not over trading. Like there's also been so many times, let's say this trade does happen to work for some reason and it doesn't sweep that low on Asia and it works. There's so many times I could have looked at this chart and been like, damn, I need to get out of this right now because it's going to pull lower. But you have to remember, it's not New York. You don't normally get an insane amount of volatility across the board. All right, we got Asia open. Let's see what it brings. It trades so much better at Asia than New York. Hell yeah, Jeremy. That's why I love trading it. I trade way better. Primarily too, because I'm not like New York Open. I'm near my screen to make sure like manage Jake's chat. Also for the giveaways, stuff like that. And then I just don't trade the New York Open much. But when I do, I usually just want to be in and out, which isn't my normal trading style. And then overnight, I just want to get in a trade, and I don't care if I hold it for hours. I truly don't. I was $20 away from payout on final day, tilted last week and blew up. No, Lil Melty. I mean, knowing you, I think you use smaller size. So you're probably, and you scalp, right? So you're probably just more of scalping yourself into a hole, I would assume. Not letting that happen this time, good. Whenever you are close to a payout, and if you're newer and like you're not that consistent, whatever, if you get close to a payout, do yourself a favor and set a max daily loss limit. Make it so you can't blow up the account in one day. Because on flexes and selects, you can blow it up in one day. And it's very easy to if you trade aggressive. Because you get so focused on the payout aspect of it that if you get the drawdown, the payout's already locked in your mind. So you have to get it that day. And that is when a mass majority of people chase the payout and blow up. Because let's say in this scenario, I'm going to make up a scenario. Let's say you need $20 and you try to take probably a little more size than you should to get a little quick trade, and it goes against you. You're going to lose 100, maybe 150. Now you got to make 170 bucks. Well, now you're going to risk even more on that to potentially make that 170 because you want that payout today. If you lose that trade as well, because at that point, you're probably not already in the right headspace because you were just $20 away and now you're farther. And it's just a downhill spiral. Low Melty, please don't tell me you're using one midi to make 20 bucks. Oh, you were up 130, you needed 150. I truly hope you weren't in a mini trying to fucking, unless you were just very quick scalping, then I don't know. I just had a seizure thinking about how many times I've blown 5 accounts on the last day. It's gut wrenching. I mean, that was me with Apex in the past. I've talked about it with you guys. I blew an account after I had a payout approved and didn't get the payout because of how Apex's payouts used to be. You used to not get approved for 2 to 3 days, and you were allowed to trade during those times. And I got the payout. I'm like, it's approved. Let's make a little bit more. Well, I lost money intraday to the point where I couldn't get the payout anymore because I was below the buffer. At that point, I was like, shit, I got to make this back. And y'all can write the rest of the story and probably be spot on. It wasn't a good time. And mind you, that was like 3 years ago, I think. Maybe even 4. They saved so much money with that system. Agreed, DJ. Agreed. What up, Seven? The fact that, I mean, most people don't know if you're a newer trader what Apex's payout strategy used to be. You used to request a payout. It would take days to get approved and taken out of your account, and you would get paid once a month. It was one set day every month. So there was times where you just weren't able to trade your account for 5 days or so. And then they made it twice a month. It was so bad. And that's why, DJ, when people complain now and they're like, oh, I didn't get my payout. It took a day to get my payout, or it took 12 hours. I'm like, 12 hours is phenomenal, dude. You still get a payout. Like, that's faster than a self-funded account, unless you do instant deposits or instant withdrawals. But just think of the old days. Like, even Top Step, I think, was 1 week. Yeah, that is when it was only Apex and Top Step, so they could make whatever rules they wanted to. And to be fair, Apex's rules weren't that bad. Then I personally think they made them worse when they brought MAE into it. And then when they recently got away with that, that's when I started using them for a payout again. Seven, if you're winning since July 2nd, they just don't like you. My longest payout with Apex was 7 days since the new accounts. To be fair, though, with Apex, And I always talk about it, the pros and the cons. They can still do that with 7 days instead of instant because you can use up to 20 accounts. People who love Apex because of their 20 accounts will always use Apex because of that feature. So they don't care how fast they get the payouts. They just care that they get the payouts, especially when something like alpha happens that just reassures it to where, all right, this company has paid me out. They have never had problems paying me out. I have no problem continuing to wait those couple days. Yeah, 7, I believe it's 5 to 14 business days. 14 business days is crazy. But I thought it was like 5 to 10 days. I was on suspension for a while, kind of gave up, and then heard they turned things around a bit. Yeah, DJ, they did. They turned it around a little bit. They still have the old account option if you want to use that. If you like the intraday aspect, which if you like it, I think you're insane. TCM, I truly think ES has potential for all-time highs. I'm not married to that idea because of what we've been in. So I'm not letting myself get married to it and be overly aggressive towards it. But NQ, this thing needs to break if we get that. It has to get over 30,100 if the market wants to go anywhere. I remember my first week trading futures top step was trading 2 minis and ran the account to 5K with an approved payout, decided to go for 10K, blew the account, slammed my mouse. Well, at least you only slammed a mouse. They're usually not that expensive unless you get some bougie mouses. I mean, mine's a little more on the expensive side, but it's because anything with my setup, I just buy decent stuff. Polar Bear, there's people out there that have gone through a stack of monitors. Hang on. My mouse is the Logitech G502X. It's not crazy, but it's like $100 mouse. I almost punched my monitor today. I will say I have verbally said fuck a few times while trading. While I'm just sitting there in a trade and I know I did something stupid and I just close out of the trade and I just say it. But I've never wanted to punch any part of my setup. Usually I just go do something else, like work out. The best way to get a hell of a lift is just tilt your ass off, get a bunch of caffeine, and go hit the gym. I don't recommend it. Maybe skip the first part, but it does help fuel it. I'm definitely screaming at my phone. I feel like most people have verbally let something out. Oh, DJ, most people hate intraday. Most people just are okay with intraday because of the pros of the overall account. I don't know anybody who would get an account and say, I want the one with intraday because it has intraday. Yeah, TCM, if NQ pushes towards 30,100 again, ES will likely break up at least towards 650s. NFA, not fitness advice. Oh, no, Toasted. That one is more fitness advice. But the financial aspect is what we're cutting out of it. Gym session is the best mental reset. Agreed. What I need to do, though, is get back in the day where I don't inhale copious amounts of caffeine. Because my pre-workout used to just strictly be dark chocolate and a teaspoon of honey with salt. And that was all I would lift with. Blew 3 accounts yesterday, broke my monitor. I was not having it this week. Maps, I'm sorry to hear that. The problem is, though, the monitor probably cost you at least as much as an eval. You only trade Asian? No, Prem. And also, what's up, Prem? I saw you say long time no see. How you doing? No, I primarily trade Asia. This is what I traded today in New York on YM. A little like 4. I don't know if I think it was up to here. I front ran 80 a little bit, so probably between like 75 and 78s, if we're being honest, being transparent. but just over like 4R on a little quick trade, which is crazy. 4R in sub 4 minutes. I won't complain. Went on tilt so hard that I drove to the casino and bet my car on black. Now, you know, at least that's eventful. Caffeine ain't the worst. No, agreed. But it's just you get more mental clarity, at least I do. It's not even just caffeine, it's probably energy drinks more so, if I'm going to say that. Got 700% on Nvidia today. Did you short it or long it? Because that's one of the greatest Vs we've seen in today. Wait, is this the open? No, it is Wednesday, right? Yeah. So open, pop, straight flush. So if it was 700%, I would assume you caught the long because contracts would have been cheaper down at the lows to be able to give you that overall potential on it. What, polar bear? No. Definitely don't recommend that one. Wait, Prim, did that actually happen? Entered at 10:17 PST, 2:10 call. So 117. So yeah, you bought the low. So that's right. Oh, you bought the low. Well, you saw a little bit of drawdown, but the risk reward is worth it. Nice trade. I personally trailed my stop to 17 right here. If you're looking at this structure, looking at this 15-minute chart, this should not go back down to 17. So my stop is 17. I'm currently risking $75 on this trade. No, I didn't. Bro, imagine if you could just go to the casino and be like, hey, buy my car, and they just give you the chips outright for it, and you can buy it back at the end if you want. I need to get back to the gym. It's been a month. Yeah, you do, Gael. Yeah, you do. Blew my Lucid Pro last night, 20% away from full payout. Was not happy. I've heard a lot of stories about people blowing up lately. I have. And the wildest part is the way I used to trade as well. There were times where I wouldn't take like full weeks off, but there would be weeks where I would take maybe 2 trades. I would look at the charts every day and show up. But if we were just in a broader consolidation, I would just walk away because it just wasn't worth it. Togi did it, I think. Well, yeah, Bram, they have a little bit of privilege there where they can borrow as much money as they want up to like 7 figures at casinos. Because I know Togi did that with the online casinos. Was having the CME, they now do single stock futures. Our prop firm doing the upgrade as well. Marks, don't believe they do single stock futures yet. I think that's more so towards the end of the month. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I think it's probably like the 27th or something. Prop firms will likely do that. There's no confirmation out there yet. But if you're looking at someone who wants to be the leader of an industry, and I know absolutely nothing behind the scenes. Jake knows all that info, not me. I'm just spitballing. I would lean towards Tradeify trying to do it because they've been a leader in a lot of aspects with prop firms. And if they're going to do it, I would assume Lucid's probably going to do it. So those are at least 2 firms that I would anticipate to incorporate that. Pram, what'd you hit today? Gael, there's probably some legality behind it. Also, because then they would just have a scrapyard behind their casino of a bunch of cars and shit. Imagine having a casino, like a decent sized casino, and you buy used cars from people that are just down atrociously bad, and then you have a used car lot a couple doors down that you sell all the cars at. Could be a genius business. Is it just exploiting the hell out of people that are in desperate times? Yes, wholeheartedly. I'm going to slide this up to 20. It is an eval, but I'm not going to be too aggressive on it. It's going to be a little annoying if we get a point away and I don't get it. If this was a funded, I would probably be trailing stop a little more aggressive, to be honest. Just because of the move we've made. I probably would have trimmed already too, but I'm just letting this ride. I would have been more so eager to trim at like 26, 25s, which in theory, I probably should have sized up a little bit with this. Ledger, did we catch the same trade? Today marks 1 month of all green days for you, Pram. I don't think you realize how insane that is. There are very few people. I don't even know if I've had a month where every single day was green. That's an insane stat, personally. But it's also because if I take like a decent loss, I just walk away and I eat the L. Praga, just the overall bullish structure on ES with the relative strength. As NQ was below the open, ES was holding the open. Once we held, I wanted to get in down here personally. This candle was already pushing. I bought here. It was right like as stream was going to start. And then it was just the structure. More so bullish on the higher time frames. We kind of need to now get back above yesterday's highs at the moment, or I'll get stopped out of this trade for 150 bucks. And then I still got to make money on the friggin' eval. But, yeah, just the bullish structure, right? If we got any continuation, we're going to break today's highs and push up. I was looking for last week's highs, which is why I'm still in this and still want that target. But I did trail stop to 20. So my stop is there. Love that, Miguel. So are these single stock futures approved by the CME already? Ron, I do not know that. Broke a couple of laptop screens in my early days. It's too expensive, so I started sacrificing my mouse. I keep 2 or 3 in reserve. Helps keep the stress. Bro, you need a punching bag in your room, not 4 mice. You just need a whole boxing gym right next to your PC. You caught it, but in NQ. You're saying NQ looks sloppy? I mean, NQ's been relatively weak, so it's going to be sloppier. No, Pram, I fully believe you, brother. If you want to send me proof, just for yourself, feel free. My DMs are always open. If we clear 110, oh, ANF. Bought ANF 95 calls. Abercrombie and Fitch. This company's still around. I mean, yeah, if it clears 110. If it clears 110, you got, depending on your expiration. You get over 105. You have some serious room. Some serious room. I'm likely going to get stopped on the overall position here. Like I said, if I was in an actual funded, I would have trimmed for sure. Hell yeah, Prim. I'll look at it after stream. Got my biggest trade of the month, 156 points. Hell yeah, NZ. Oh, don't you dare wick me out and then rip. It might, but I mean, it's a trade. Was up decent amount on it. Since it's an eval, I wanted the full TP. They can get it. So now let's see if anything else sets up. How you hold through this wild pullback? Marks, it's not that crazy of a pullback. It's 7 points. Maybe 8 from the highs. Not nuts. But like I said, if this was a funded and if that was my target, y'all know how I trade. I trim way more aggressively. One comp. Which... Oh, I thought you were saying I had like one contract open. No, I had 15 micros. I'm still holding it. Hell yeah, Ledger. Well, yeah, depending on where you got in on NQ, I was just trailing it. Because what I don't like happening is to see a trade doing decently well and then letting it go back red. Mentally, that irritates me more than just getting stopped in profit at times. I mean, it also depends on the structure and setup. This holds the low I'm adding. I mean, if we hold this general area right here, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Which is why I had my stop a little below that. But when I saw this 5-minute close like that, not so great. So today we have that. We have this. And then obviously we have the highs at 630s. Yeah, DJ, I usually trade MES. Just that way I have the opportunity to trim. Bass, the problem is I need to change the bot message because I don't want to see Jake Bald. I want that to be forgotten about wholeheartedly. So I'm changing that tonight if I remember at the end of stream. But I want that gone. Ollie, that's a dream, dude. To have like an extra building outside, like in the backyard at one point, where you have a full trading setup and a gym. That is like, if I get a shitload of money in trading, that is exactly where it's going. That is exactly where it's going to. Did I say if? Yeah, when. Sorry, my bad. My bad. That's on me. Biggest win streak in my trading career so far. Pram. The only thing I will say is you just have to remember you will have a losing day. And it's just how you maintain that losing day is going to determine everything. If you have a full green month and then just a small losing day that you're fine with, who cares about the win streak? That's more important than the entire win streak as a whole. Because what people do is they'll have 2-3 weeks straight of wins, and then they'll have a losing day where they just tilt out their entire ass. And it's not great. What's Alan's Instagram? !Alan, brother. If you do ! Any of our names, it'll pop up the social media. Yeah, 100% Bram. That's what I figured. Because it's never, I mean, most of the time, it's not just 100% winning trades. Because, I mean, that's hard to do for a month straight unless you are just locked in doing well. But you're going to have losing trades. So it's just how you manage everything. I need to figure out sizing for Asia. Would you size too much or too little? It also all depends on the volatility in that current session. Because there's days where we get this little bit of volatility we have today, which isn't nothing, but it's not crazy, right? 10 points to the upside. And then there's days where, what day was it where Asia was just hell this day? Monday. Then you get days where we do stuff like this and it just rips back and forth. I think that was a little over 10 points. Yeah, 20 points, for an hour straight, and then we finally get somewhat of a trend. $15, probably going to set an inside bar here. Well, besides the upper wick, obviously. If it holds this overall 20 support, it looks good back to the upside. Dollar remaining weaker. Gold a little stronger. Oil a little bit. Let's see. See how this 5 closes. Because if this 5 closes a little bit stronger, the 15 will have more of a lower wick, and then I would have some conviction. If not, I got to wait to see what the next 15 does. Let her rip, Pram. Let her rip. Yeah, it's something I'm holding back on now. It's just dealing with those red days. I'm more pissed at myself for blowing 3 accounts because I knew deep down the conditions weren't for me. Maps, I mean, I've been there, done that multiple times. And it's just at a point you kind of get to the point where you're like, all right, I'm sick of my shit. Like, when's enough? And then when you find those days where you're just not interested, you learn to walk away, because it's better to just miss out on a trading day than to blow up an entire account trading something you shouldn't. $16 micros may have been a poor choice. It depends on structure for the most part and what your entry was. Well, it's more so what your risk tolerance is. If you're risking a lot, then yeah. Netflix and gummy bears it is. Ledger's about to have himself a night. I've been walking away for the past 2 weeks. Hell yeah, Ollie. Something that helps a lot, and I know not a lot of people can do this because you guys work 9 to 5s, right? Some people, obviously 9 to 5 in quotes, because right, I used to work 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. Is if you can find something to do to get you away from a screen, it helps exponentially. Whether that's just walking your dog at a certain time every day, like going to the gym at a certain time every day, just whatever. Why does ES look bullish and NQ look bearish? Saj Jeremy. When that happens, what that likely means is tech not doing well. The rest of the market not doing terrible. You know? That's what we call a good rotation. But tech's been leading a lot. Now they're starting to actually take more of a hit, especially when you get towards the main leaders, right? MU, NVIDIA, pulling back a little bit overnight. They got smoked today, got bought back up. We'll see what happens tomorrow with those. But if bigger tech keeps getting pushed lower, what you're going to want to watch right now, and this is a great example, is the RTY and the YM. We've gone over these rotations before, and we've traded them drastically. NQ is the only asset below the open right now. ES is still trying to set a higher low above the open. RTY is above the open, and YM is above the open. So what this picture tells you is tech just right now isn't doing that good. And that's all you really need to dive into about it. So it's just relative strength, relative weakness at that point. And usually when you see the indices divergent like that, there's a good probability either we are in a daily consolidation because of the rotation, or we're about to get into a daily consolidation. And right now, it's safe to say we are deep in one. Chat, rate that dad joke 1 to 10. Just when you think vegetables don't have phones, onion rings. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I've heard that one before. But it's okay. It's okay. Dad jokes are better in person for sure. Yeah, IT. Because I think what IBM got obliterated yesterday, I think. Had a Funded Seat. Never heard of them. Instant funded once. Went for a $1,500 ES play. Got it. Swore I canceled as all well went down. On my way open near end of day to 10K pro. Wait. Funded Seat. Instant funded once. Went for a $1,500 ES play. Got it. Swore I canceled all. Well, I didn't. Went on my way open near. You opened it near 10K profit. And you blew the account with 10 losses in a row. Fuck. Well, first off, I guarantee you the consistency was probably atrocious at that point, which leads you to trying to trade more aggressive, which likely led to the 10 losing days. But that's brutal. Ledger, it depends. There's days where NQ is really nice to trade because you can find 20, 30 point stops on NQ at times. It just trending NQ is exponentially better than ranging NQ unless you're scalping. You need 20%. So you needed to make $50,000 to get a payout on that account. Oh yeah, at that point, I would have washed that account completely. Especially if your trade was like $1,500, I would have washed that account and never looked back. I probably would have kept the account and just yeeted full size to see if I could do it. But with that, I would not have cared if I blew that account at that point. Because the chances of you making that are going to be a lot slimmer than you blowing that account. Crazy move on NQ. Dying trapped buyers did hard. Hit that session high, that 750s area we said we need over for continuation. Immediate failure. But that's range trading. The problem is I don't want to short yet. Give me some structure on ES that pushes us like below the open, and I'd be interested in it. I would probably need to below the open. The problem for me, why I don't love shorts, is there's a lot of support between 14s and basically like 05s, 04s. Then you have more at 600. We know where the supports are from last night, 95 and 90. And then you have support down between 75 and 70. So there's a lot of support that you have to get through. No matter what, I still am interested in longs just because I don't like the idea of shorts. If a long sets up, I'm in. If it doesn't, oh well. Yeah, Fram. You do. $29,700 was on the 2-minute break bar, but I don't know. But I know it was ranging. I figured it was either going to rip the 725 or not. That's fair. So you got in here. Yeah, in the 2-minute break bar of this, most likely. I mean, good entry. Just depends what you're targeting, but good entry. Gold. Dollars above the open. Not ideal. Gold's holding. Most fab, are you still in if you're here? I mean, gold hourly doesn't look terrible. The problem is gold in general just looks terrible. You have to remember too, anything I say with gold, take it with a grain of salt. I don't trade gold that often. So I'm not overly interested in it. What up, Nap? How you doing? Good, brother. I had a trade go up decent profit and then pull back to stop me in profit. How many day out of options would you choose if you don't want the option value to move not much when it's choppy for SPY QQQ? If you want no theta decay, which is what you're talking about, you need like weeks. Because even next week options will start to lose overall pricing with theta decay. You'll lose a lot less. You won't lose as much as 0 days or weeklies. But if you want zero decay, you need some decent expiration. I mean, it can be 3 weeks, a month. It's not crazy. How did the blonde break her legs raking leaves? She fell out of the tree. All right, that one I haven't heard before. Is Chad going to drop dad jokes now? Is that today's outcome? Thought I took the 1500, didn't cancel. Yeah. Yeah, DJ, at that point, there's just nothing you can do unless you realize it by end of day. You're on your day and not... I mean, in theory, though, you had a hell of a trade, right? Your $1,500 trade went almost 7 times what you expected of it. Yeah, TCM. I mean, you can watch for that as well. You definitely need NQ above the open. Right now, if ES sets like a 5-minute inside bar, you could look for the continuation break on it. But I don't love fading back into that 15. I lost a lot of interest in the rest of this session with this pullback down into like 18. Can we still hold this support? Yeah. Am I still more so interested in longs than shorts? Agreed. 100%. And so far, the initial thesis, chat, was correct. We got the bullish. Stopped at BE like $50. Yeah, me and you both, Mos Fab. Doing good. We're on a set of 5 evals from Apex. Got 4 up over 1K today. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, Naf, not bad at all. This is an eval. I needed like 800 to pass. I think we got to like 735 and then it pulled back. It is what it is. I'll make it on the next trade. I mean, DJ, you had a hell of a bias that day. Whatever your bias and thesis was, study that trade, figure out if you could have held longer, do that on a personal account, and you're set. This week's been one hell of a week. Yesterday I was 400 away from blowing funded. Now it's back up to 1.8K. One more winning day tomorrow and payout secured. SO, take it slow. Unless you need like a decent profit amount. But, I mean, you do you. That's a nice recovery. Especially 400 from blowing the funded and now you're fighting a payout. Not bad. As long as you traded well. Congratulations. Yeah, Naf. I'm not overly worried about it. I mean, plus it wasn't like a crazy trade. I think it was like, what, 1.7R, 1.8R, something like that. I don't believe so, but when I've gotten my lucid payouts, I've been at least over 3K. No, Jeepers, I don't agree that it's best to always go for max payout because that's when most people blow up. Are you going to trade? No, Monica. If you look right below my name, you'll see the positions. They're 0 right now. I was in the long earlier, and then I got stopped on the pullback. So we were in one. Now I'm just waiting. But no, I don't always go for max payout. For me, it's what I can take. I'm cool with. But if I get like a max payout on an account at that point, or if I get a payout on an account, I start leaning towards just building the buffer on it. So I may trade more aggressively at times, which caused me to lose some of them. It's crazy how much divergence there is. The ES look ready to break all-time highs, and NQ looks like if we just lose another 500 points, we die. Yep. Yeah. Well, to be fair, if we lose another 500... Oh, yeah. So 29,250. 29,250. I mean, yeah, 250 is huge. Obviously, we got one big spike outside of it. When this happens, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. Because we just got bought right back up. But yeah, they're like 250 to like 300 area is huge on NQ. And on the lower time frames, we slammed right off the high area. So if you're trading the range aspect, you're probably sitting pretty well. Question: how many people are short right now? And I know a lot of people don't like are lurkers. You don't have to answer. Help me decide what movie to watch with a GIF. Gael, you can't send GIFs on YouTube. Me, short NQ? Hell yeah. So your minimum is 500, so I'm pretty sure you have to be over 1K. That makes sense. Which is interesting because you need 5 days of 250, but they still let you have 1K total. I would at least make it 1250 just because. Short? Hell yeah. I know someone was short earlier when I was in the long. I would assume they likely got stopped. Might have got a re-entry though. Oh. Well, sometimes that happens, Gael. Sometimes I can't read. Gael, what you're going to want to watch is a movie called Redemption. So watch that with your girlfriend. I think you guys will really enjoy it. And Q looks rough, yeah. 100%. YM still and ES are still holding the open. We have RTY and NQ below. We'll see who wins that fight. But Gaia, look it up for me real quick. Watch Obsession, that new movie. I heard a lot of good about it. Is it out yet or is it just in theaters? I don't even know if it's in theaters or not. No, Gael. It's a different one. It's more of a docu-series. Yeah, it's on Prime Video. You'll know which one I'm talking about when you see it. For those of you that don't know, Gael is a huge Michigan fan, and that's a docuseries about Ohio State. I saw what it was. Good. Yeah, Gael, I think you should truly watch it. Just learn about who the better team truly is. Spend the time. Went short ES to the lower high break even already. Right here around 22s. What scares me about the market right now is the bigger tech names, chip stocks look like they want lower AI bubble pop. I mean, it might not be a bubble, but they could definitely see lower. I mean, NVIDIA looks good, but it's in a range, right? You look at this weekly, besides this spike higher and this spike higher, it is hard stuck here. If NVIDIA gets over 215s, I love that long. Like, love the long. Especially because it has decent relative strength compared to the rest of the sector. If you look at NVIDIA, it's more so break even on the day. Then you look at MU, got smoked. MU's at a huge support as well. If it loses basically like 900s, that might be tough. AMD also in more of a range like NVIDIA, a little spike higher, a little bit different structure though. But they're just stuck. They're just not going anywhere. Yeah, if they break, it'll definitely be really ugly. NVIDIA's the only one that looks okay to me. NVIDIA and Qualcomm. I don't think Qualcomm looks terrible, but let me double check that. Yeah, Qualcomm looks like shit. I lied. Qualcomm doesn't look good. Gold with crazy gaps converted back to thank you, Buckle. Yeah, so it'd be like that on gold. Gold hasn't moved at all, though. Gold, I feel like this has just been more of an annoying name to trade. Like during this entire session, this is the overnight session today. This is the session yesterday, the exact same setup. This is the session the day before. Like gold is just not moving. Other than Friday, or was that Sunday's open? Sunday's open. Gold hasn't moved during Asia once. At least during early Asia. Let me correct that. As Michigan men, we could never. Wait. I'd rather not watch a documentary about how Ohio State players broke the rules by signing memorabilia. Gael, I'm just saying, is the pot calling the kettle black right now? You guys won a national championship and got proven to be cheating the entirety of the end of the season. I believe it was what, like a year and a half? Don't come at me about cheating allegations. Also, us signing memorabilia isn't cheating. That's called entrepreneurship. Get that fact straight. We saw the trend that was coming, and now it's legal. What Michigan did, not legal yet. What we did is legal. You guys told TCU we were stealing signs. You were. It means you were. No. Prove it. Absolutely prove it. Innocent until proven guilty. You were proven guilty. We were not. What are the yellow lines in your ES chart? Just the range we've been in. So the overall session lows and session highs from today, like from the overnight, and just the area I want to see a break of for continuation. Ours was so legal, they had to actually make it a rule. You know. Chat, I'm going to try a small stab here. With a stop at 13. Do I want 13? Why does it say 13's low of day for me? Oh, it's the morning day down here. Small stab off the support. Probably going to throw a stop at, I'll go 12. This is still obviously on the eval. We're going to see if we can hold or if it goes right on the session. Looking for a broader hold of this support, seeing if we can just get a move back up even towards 21s. If it breaks and we get a broader continuation lower, then yeah, we'll likely be stopped. That would be the more so structure. I would be out probably around 25, 26. So like right there. And if we do break this low, there's a chance this hourly gets really ugly. Let me catch up on chat. Look at INTC. Okay. You listed a lot of names there. INTC, massive sport as well. MRV. Oh. Marvel looks like it got steamrolled. EVGO, not bad. Trying to just in a daily range, trying to see if it wants to end up getting back above like 405s, 405s. But if it gets below 380s, that's when I think it can pull back to that larger support. And then AMD. Yeah, we already looked at AMD. AMD doesn't, I wouldn't say this doesn't look good. It just doesn't look great, you know? Like overall, it's just stuck in a daily, weekly, technically monthly range. I wouldn't say it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look appealing to trade yet. But I agree with you on most of the other ones. Chad, I'll make a deal because stream is almost over. If 13 of you guys can like the stream, I'll rip the giveaway right now. And that ain't asking much. Where's giveaways? Hurry up, like that shit. Sneaky, sneaky. Well, technically, you guys didn't lose. Well, you guys lost today, but Jake didn't win. And we did our no giveaway yesterday. See, that's the crazy thing. I'll put on stream, like on the screen, likes for giveaways. I say it right at the end. Bam. Just got 13. Like that. Appreciate you, Neff. You guys will see it in chat. Don't type it yet. The end of the giveaway, all you're going to have to do is type exclamation mark the word enter and then send it. You guys have 3 minutes, by the way. Not 4, 3. Like you ran 2 today. Who ran 2 today? Jake? Yeah, Jake did giveaways, I think. Did he? I don't remember. I was on stream and I don't remember. We'll figure it out. Anyways, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick while y'all do that. That is 3 minutes, so it's a minute shorter than usual. I just went with the time that was on it. So whoever did it last picked it. But I'll be back. All you got to do, exclamation mark, enter. And I'll do this so you guys can't miss it. There's no way you missed that chat. All right, chat. I see the trades running a little bit. How many of you guys we got in? I'm not going to lie. For the lower number of viewers at the moment, you guys got some decent entries. You still have 1 minute. Was that really 3 minutes? Huh. Still got 1 minute to enter. AXP rooting for you? I'm rooting for AXP too. I mean, I don't have favorites and I can't rig it, but I'm rooting for AXP. But to be fair, like what does AXP have to do after he wins? Then his entire vendetta's over. Now what? Now what's the point of showing up? It's like having a drive and a passion, then all of a sudden it's gone. So far, everyone's typing it correctly. Love to see that, chat. We got up to 20-ish. Chat, remember, I am holding up to here because that is where it passes my account. If you want to take shit around the high of the range, feel free. I'm looking for up here, especially with the 15. If it can close up around 20 or higher, the 15 looks good. 5 minute, you know, we're 30 lower wick if it holds for the next 5 minutes. Hourly, to be honest, looks diabolically insane. So we'll see if this works or not. That is it for the giveaway. Ali, how many times have you won? Have you been picked 3 times already? I know you've given away every other account that you've won. Like you haven't, for anyone that knows, he hasn't claimed an account. No, Marks, it depends if he wants it or not. He hasn't won an account. Some people rigged shit. Chat, it is fully random. Y'all can see it right here. I pick open entries and then pick winner when it completes. It is random. Where's the chat? Ollie, do you want this? And by all means, if you haven't claimed one of yours before, which I don't think you have. I won one from Jake on his script. So what do you want me to do? You want me to give it away then? Give it away? All right, chat. So this is how we do it. Watch. Just to show you. Completely random. I'm showing the whole process. So I can't get allegations. Pick winner. Chat. Chat, you guys saw it. Chat, you guys saw it. You guys fucking saw it. Ollie, go play the lottery. You ain't being... I did nothing. You guys saw the entire giveaway. Now the question is, Ollie, can you go... Also, how's the trade doing? Can you go 3 for 3? Can you go 3 for 3? How? You guys see. Are you sure you want to remove him as a winner? Confirm. Pick winner. Okay. NQ Navigator. Look, this shit's brutal. Dude, it's worse that I tried to clear myself by showing it. And this same person came up. NavNQ, are you here and have you won? His name written on what? He won last week. No, never won. Marks, if he didn't actually win, you guys got to stop with that. I will say that for sure. If he did win, I can check. So there's 3. You might be thinking of Edge over NQ1, Raw Dog NQ1, KNQ Trades 1, you might hear a noise. MP Trades NQ1, NQ Demon 1, Trader 007 NQ1, no, I don't see his name. Never won, can't confirm. Perfect. That's what I need to hear. Something NQ, I see NQ. Yeah, there's like 7 NQ people that have won. Yeah, Navigator, that's why I always check. It's just chat loves to say that person already won or that person's not here. They do it on every stream. That's why I always check. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you do !Ron. Changing my name to NQ, you need to. Instead of NY, NQ Cleve. Apparently, that's how you win. But shoot me a DM on Instagram. Let me know you won. Once I accept the DM, you can send me a picture of your YouTube. So take a screenshot of it real quick, and then we'll get it. I mean, chat, I tried to clear the allegations, and I genuinely don't think that could have gone worse. I genuinely don't think me clearing my own name could have gone worse. Let me write the code for the bot. Why? So that way it's just Gael winning? Marks, what's that from? That guy has won. When did he win? Also, where'd you pull the name from? Do you save every name? Unless he won on a different stream and they didn't put a code, I don't see it. You and Messi on cahoots. Hey, I tried to clear my name. NQ Navigator, don't worry, brother. If I don't see your name on the bot, because chat, when I say I can check who won, I can check every single name that has ever won a giveaway on the bot. So trust me, we can tell if somebody won. Oh, Ollie's definitely rigged. I tried to clear my name. I think Ollie's just in the bot. I think he's in on the back end with Jake, and I'm blaming this on him. So technically I won, so I got it. Ollie, you did give it away. Wait, Ollie, was it on stream from a post? That's a Jake question. I can't confirm or deny that one. Ask Jake that one. Sent me a DM. Let me look real quick. If it's something from the Instagram, ask Jake that one. I can't confirm that. NQ, is it lit? Is that your name? Yeah, it was a Lucid 50K. Yeah, just ask Jake if you're curious about it then. Because that's not something I don't know his parameters on that one. Okay, but I got you after stream, brother. Which I'll probably end in a minute or so. Because my plan is just hold this trade, whether it works or fails. And the account will either be down like around $200 for the eval, or it'll be past. And that's how I'm trading this trade. Don't leave. I'm around for it just depends when I want to leave. Of course, Navigator. Where you going? Off stream. Probably not leaving my computer, but off stream. That also depends on chat. We're also not moving too, which is why I'm just like, eh. Especially because the hourly opened. So we have the 9 p.m. open. And it's just, we're stuck. Which, I mean, if we're stuck, I'm happy. Because that means we're stuck in the range that I'm actively trying to trade. How'd you get over tilt sizing up like a maniac? I'm going to assume those are like tilting by sizing up like a maniac, because the way I read it is, did I size up like a maniac to get out of tilt? And no, that was what got me in tilt. Just accepting losses in general. Take your trades, accept the outcome no matter what's going to happen. If you trail a stop, like when I trailed this stop, if 20 held on a wick and then rip back up to the highs, it is what it is at that point. I made the decision to move the stop. Whatever execution I do, I have to accept, good or bad. Best you can do is learn from it after the fact, but letting it impact your future trades is never going to be a good factor. Let's watch a movie. Are you trying to get it kicked off YouTube? Dude, imagine Jay got on at like 11 p.m. and I was just streaming like the longest yard for fun. What? Come here. Oh. I like the little demon in my room. And I just got bit. Can I help you? That would be hilarious. I feel like we would get rocked on YouTube. There's probably not many movies you can stream on YouTube. Oh, cute, dude. She's an asshole. She's cute, but she's bipolar. There will be times where she's just an absolute sweetheart, and then days where if you touch her, she wants to beat the hell out of you. lot of movies are free on premium. Yeah, but broccoli cheddar, I don't know if that means I can stream them. Black cat behavior for sure. Aren't they all? I got a sassy one too. My parents have 2 black cats and an orange cat. The orange cat's a sweetheart. The black ones are dicks. Kick stream inbound. Dude, kick would be fun. One day what we need to do is, like, I visit Puerto Rico, we boot up the kick stream and me and Jake just gamble like he used to. Bring back the DGen days. Sounds like a cat. Looks like a cat too. I'm going to take the hack trade of life. Longs on oil. Oil's holding the open. Problem is, too, if oil holds the open, I might see ES push back lower. NKD's getting smoked, though. So YM push below the open. Yeah, I mean, we're just consolidating above the open for now. If we can't get above, like, 18s within a few 5-minute candles, the stop will get hit. Because we need the conviction to get above 18. Go ahead. I just want one nuclear oil candle. Dude, there's nothing better than catching one nuclear oil candle. Because let's say oil breaks out of this overall hourly consolidation. You're talking easily 1 point. If it wants to really rip, you can hold for a longer trend, which can give you a really nice return. So when you can catch multiple points on oil, if the trade is insanely worth it. Watching how you take your losses help me not be so emotional when I trade. Doesn't go my way. That's how it should be. Because I also know a lot of streamers will stream and they'll be emotional about the trades in general. But they're like, in my head, there's times where I'm like, damn, that sucks. And I get irritated with it. But all you can do is just tell yourself, it ain't worth it. Because that trade's done and over with. There is nothing I can do to fix what just happened. Nothing. And all that does is lead to tilts. I'm a trade away from passing this account. The last thing I want to do is tilt my ass off and then have to start over. Because it's not a pass in 1 day. It's a pass in 3 days. But no, I'm happy it's helped you. Trade if I select? Yeah, I'm debating. Chat, should I go 1 day or 5 day on this one? Because I'm torn between it. Like, I'm very tempted on the 1 day and just build a buffer and then just work towards daily payouts. But I do love the aspect of like the 5 day 3K payout. Yeah, that's nice. The daily loss limit looming over is so annoying. The thing is too, for me, it's not, I usually don't lose $1,000 in a day on one account. Normally I'm capped around like 600. So the daily loss limit isn't a huge factor unless I try to yeet the account to build a buffer. You get moved up faster too? That's fair. What is DJR? What is that? Another prop? That's a weird ass name for a prop firm. I'll tell you that right now. That is a weird ass name for a prop firm. Supposedly similar to TPT. The problem for me with TPT is how long everything takes. Yes, when you get funded and get past the trailing drawdown, it's wonderful. But everything else on it seems like it kind of sucks. Just from what everyone talks about and what I see. Let's go here. Eval phase, buffer phase, then funded. So it's the same as my funded futures. Is it like a new prop firm, or have they been around for a little bit? I'm not going to promote them either way, but especially after the alpha thing, I doubt we're looking for new affiliates. But no, newer prop firms I'd love to watch and see how things go with them. Like, how's their marketing? How are they growing overall with social media? Because social media, end of day, is their entire audience. And if you can't grow and can't get the right affiliates, you're not going to make it long. So that's something I always watch with newer prop firms, just see how they go about that process. And there's an activation fee. So it's the same as TPT. Is this going to flush now? It might. If we set this lower high, probably. I like the initial hold, right? We obviously got a bit of a push there, but we rejected kind of near the higher end of this range. So if we hold near the low end, can't get back above like the mid, which is going to be around that 18 area that we talked about, then the probability of us pushing lower grows. Especially with the other indices struggling a little bit. Main factor I'm watching here, though, is going to be not necessarily the dollar, but oil. If oil gets a stronger breakout, then you may see the indices start to push a little more aggressively. We may start to get that negative correlation back. Gold holding the 47 to 50 area. I mean, it's holding, but it's retesting the end of day low, which is what I would watch. At this point, you need back over 55 to really build the slightest bit of conviction there. To me, this looks at the moment like it's more of a lower high than a higher low. But that can change. Even the indices, right now, this is now looking like more of a lower high. I took the initial hold, set up nice, failed. Now it's looking more like a lower high. So that's why I'm anticipating this just get taken out. Hey, Rock, I trade the S&P over the NASDAQ. Probably 90% of my futures trades are on the S&P. Well, depending on the overall cycle. If oil starts really getting a lot of my interest, then it'll be like split between oil and ES. I'm so bad at trading gold. Don't trade gold. I don't like trading gold. That's why I don't trade it. I do better trading ES than I do on gold. To the global economy fault. Steve, you want oil 120s? I mean, it's a probability, brother. It is. If oil breaks this 4 hour, it has room to 83.5s, like almost immediately with the littlest bit of buying pressure. There's a huge gap that can push through. So it could be definitely worth more of a longer term swing, for sure. What I would look at that if I was interested in it would be more so USO. So you want to start looking at like USO, see how the options look on that if you're looking to swing options. You can look at XOM. It'll follow it for the most part, but if the indices crash hard, there's times XOM will follow, right? It either follows the S&P or it follows oil. It's never both because they never really trend together. So it'll just have off days, but XOM's a really nice name to trade. Japan is talking now. NKD is still going lower. Steve, USO, I don't know if you looked at the actual options contracts. They are expensive. They might not be as bad now, but you get oil back to when we were actually starting the war for the most part. Those contracts were insanely expensive. They might still be. I'd probably look more towards spreads on it if I took anything. Yeah, right now they're not terrible. I mean, $4 for next week at the money with how much that moves, that's not horrible. But they were like $4 for 0 days. Was it Juiced IV? Dude, it was insane. I mean, when you're looking back at this as well, I'm talking when we had oil in this area up here, and you're getting these moves every single session where oil is just ripping 5% a day. USO was one of the most expensive IVs I saw. Especially because you look here. And obviously this isn't like a clean chart, but it was just gaps. So they're pricing in the gaps every single night. You'd see a 4% gap up or gap down almost every single day. Like right here, 5% gap up, 4% gap up, and then faded the entire move to the downside. A lot of opportunity, but just expensive ass contracts. All right, Chad, this 5-minute candle should take me out of this. With NQ breaking lows, unless NQ somehow holds this like 600 area and ES doesn't push there. But with us now breaking new low of session, I would anticipate that to be broken. We set more so the lower high when we initially held the support, push back lower, and now it's looking like that is smoked. Dollar a little strong, gold weak still. NKD lower. So we have RTY new lowest session, NQ new lowest session, ES new lowest session, YM not yet. But at this point, I anticipate lower, at least for the shorter term. Unless that hourly just immediately gets bought back up over like 18s, but I would need over 18 to take any type of entry after this trade. Yeah, I would just stick to futures on oil. Futures on oil moves very smoothly. Plus, you can get really, really nice entries. And you can get really good risk to reward. For the overnight session specifically. I haven't traded it much during New York. Mainly just the overnight and overnight swings on it. I should get filled sooner because I think this is like a tick behind MES. I'm just waiting for that to fail and then I'm gonna hop off stream. And if it doesn't and we push back over like the open, I'd probably still hop off. There we go. All right, ended up losing that one. Was looking for the overall sport hold, couldn't hold. Started out good initially, faded back. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it a stream there, call it a night. And then we'll see if we can catch anything tomorrow. So far this session, big break to the upside after consolidation. Faded back to the downside, held support, and then failed. I think this might crash, I'm short. Right now it looks good. Right now it looks great for shorts with this lower high, for sure. But, all right, chat, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I'll be back tomorrow. Wait, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for the last stream of the week. Alan's on 1 a.m. Eastern. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Appreciate you guys.